doing. And the reason why I believe your businesses is not only blowing up, but is going to continue to blow up and grow up is because you're always present. And there's something about being present. We know that learning comes from repetition. And so you continue to put yourself in position to win. So I've got some notes that I've jotted down and I'm going to share it with you today because what I want to do is help you open up this month with momentum. And it's 4 strategies that I'm going to give you that's going to help you open up this month with momentum. Now, some of these things you may have heard, some of them you may not have heard, and some of them you may have heard, but just not like this, right? That happens. And so here is what I want to do. Every month in social selling, every month in MLMs, every month in direct selling, to be honest with you, is like almost like a new year. It's really like a new year. You've closed out the busiest time of your month. Let me share this with you. The busiest time of your month should be at the beginning and at the end. And literally what's taking place is at the beginning, you're kicking off the momentum of the month. Y'all understand that? You're kicking off the momentum of the month. So how you start your month helps to propel you to a strong ending. Now, what you're doing at the end of the month is you are now closing out from the momentum that you created at the beginning. And that's why there's this last minute push. You may have 5 or 6 people in a hopper to begin to become an online dispensary owner. You may have 10 new customers that you're pushing as you close the month out that you have been talking to and working with. And so the momentum, we want to have momentum from the beginning of the month to the end of the month. And one of the things that I believe that's going to help us to have momentum is these 4 strategies. And the first strategy, believe it or not, I'm going to tell you is open up the month, the first strategy, with celebrating the wins. Whatever wins that you have. This is going to be very important psychologically because you're going to start the month, watch, with your mindset on your previous victory. You want to celebrate the wins. When you get into a habit of acknowledging the things that went right, and when you recognize where things could have gone differently, they're all a part of this process, right? And they work together. So you must not only become consumed what didn't work, you must also celebrate the wins. Somebody put that in the chat line for me. Celebrate the wins. It's very, very important, celebrating the wins. In celebrating the wins, I want you to get into the habit of writing it down. What are you writing down? You're writing down what worked for you this month. You're writing down what was successful for you this month. You're writing down what advancements were you able to make this month. I want you to celebrate that. Celebrate what products you moved the most this month. Why am I telling? I'm gonna explain why I'm sharing this with you later on. But part of the reason you want to celebrate the wins is because you want to allow in those moments where you may not be winning, you want to have a point of reference that you can go back to as a sense of encouragement and a sign of encouragement that says, hey, you know what? I can do this. Well, how do I know I can do it? Because I did it before. See, if you did it in April, then guess what? You can become victorious and win again in May. And so you want to come in, start your month with the momentum of what you did right. Does that make sense? You want to start your month with the momentum of what you did right. Why is this so important? Because we can be our own, many of us, if you're anything like me, I am my #1 critic. I can stand up before a bunch of people and give a presentation and get all of these accolades about how well it went over. I could get up and speak about how my presentation changed their life. And then I walk away from that presentation. Maybe it's just me. I walk away feeling like I messed up, feeling like I could have done better, right? I am my biggest critic. And so what happens is the limiting beliefs that we put on ourselves becomes a loud voice. So if we're constantly beating ourselves up for what went wrong, we lose sight of what went right, and we turn our energy and our focus to the wrong things. So that's number one, celebrate the wins. Number two, the second strategy for opening up the month, as you evaluate and making certain you gain momentum. The second strategy is, watch this now, don't forget your chicken list. What you talking about, Coach Dan? Don't forget your chicken list. Let me tell you, everybody that's under the sound of my voice, including myself, because I can hear myself talk, we got a chicken list. And the chicken list is the list of people that we have been afraid to talk to for whatever reason about our business. The chicken list is the group of people that we looked at their names and allowed us, knowing who they are and knowing their names, to tell us no, before we even asked them for the yes. That's the chicken list. Let's be honest. How many of you got a chicken list? You got people that's in your family. You got people that's in your sphere of influence. You got people that's around you that you have not talked to about the business because you feel that they're probably going to tell you no. I got a real short chicken list. Yeah, but you got one. I have a chicken list. Yeah. So, and let me ask you, good evening. I got a big one. Thank y'all for your honesty. See, when you're honest with me, it helps me, it pulls on me a little bit and we get a little better. Dr. Mooney, let me ask you a question. Was your chicken list always short? Really short? Or was it at a point, look at that, hell no. Which means he began to tap into his chicken list. Listen, I want you to not be afraid of your chicken list. I want you to write down your chicken list if you haven't done so already. And I want you at the beginning of the month to begin to reach out to those that's on that list. What that's going to do is a couple of things. Psychologically, we're dealing with the psychology of it. Number one, it's going to give you another group of people to talk to, because most times we've exhausted the warm list or the non-chicken list. The second thing it's going to do is it's going to help to get you more comfortable with talking to people that you're uncomfortable talking to. And if you really went strongly after everybody on that chicken list, let me tell you what happens. If you get one off of that chicken list to go with you this month, your confidence is going to shoot through the roof. If you get one person off of that chicken list to say that, so I can be identified now and be honest with myself. All right, I got you. If you get one on that chicken list to go with you, the truth of the matter is it's going to help you and give you momentum, because it's going to help you with confidence. The chicken list is the people, back in the day when you was young, they didn't call you a coward. They didn't say you scared. They said you a chicken. And what they was really saying was you were afraid. They were saying that you was operating in fear. And so when you say, don't forget your chicken list, literally what I'm saying is, don't forget about the people that you was really afraid to talk to, or the people that you have already told yourself no to. And as a result of that, they've been around you, but you may have talked around it, but you never really actively engaged them to bring them into the business. And I'm gonna tell you, because I'm the youngest cousin, I'm the second to youngest cousin out of about 25 first cousins. The truth of the matter is, most of my cousins are on my chicken list. And because to them, I'm not Pastor Dan. To them, I'm not Coach Dan. Matter of fact, to them, I'm not even Dan. I'm just Dion. That's who I am, little Dion. And so because they look at me that way, the truth of the matter is I'm afraid, or I have been afraid in times past, to go after them. But guess what happened? When they brought out the 420 packs and I bought the pack, I went to one of my cousins who's older than me, who I would have never thought would have had, and I invited her to test the sample, the product. And as a result, she wound up spending about almost $100 with me. That gave me momentum to go to the next one who almost spent about the same amount, right? So don't forget about the chicken list. I wish I had more time. I'm mainly afraid of my Christian friends. Well, I'm going to talk to you about that, because that's the second class of my chicken list, right? And I said that when I had first joined the business. I don't have time to deal with it tonight because of the time. I got 8 minutes, y'all. So let me get through this. So number one, celebrate the wins. Number two, don't forget about your chicken list. Number three, you want to evaluate the areas that went sideways. What does that mean? You don't want to continue to do stuff that don't work. So this can be one of the toughest areas that you look at. And to be honest with you, I want to stress, and what I want to stress is that this is not a place to beat yourself up. But this is a place to examine how you can do better this month from last month. So one of the keys in learning how to be better in this particular area is making a conscious decision on how you're going to respond. So when something didn't go right, are you going to moan, groan, complain, and spend all of your energy about that? Or are you going to say, okay, who can I call for help? How can I become better at this? So if you know that being a recruiter is not your strong suit, you may be able to go get customers, but it's difficult for you to get business builders. So then, but you know that in order to get to that next level that you're seeking to get to, you need to be able to recruit business builders, right? You need to be able to build your business. So what you do is you look out for those around you and you identify the top business builders, and you go and you ask them for a little bit of their time. What is it that you do? How is it that you're recruiting so many people on a monthly basis? And you begin to gain the resource and gain the information. You have to be on a search. You have to be on a quest in order for you to get better. If you don't look for better, then better will never find you. Y'all, I'm going to say that again. If you don't look for better, then better will never find you. All right. So I'm moving quickly. So that's the third thing. Evaluate what went wrong. Now, here's the other piece. The fourth strategy, and I'm going to give you one more bonus. The fourth strategy for opening up the month is to track your business. Create your plan. Don't just set these goals. To set a goal without a plan to reach the goal is a waste of time. I'm just going to tell you. You got to have a plan in order to reach that goal. So you want to create a plan for the month, and you want to begin to work the plan. So for example, if you have a huge goal that you want to reach at the end of the month, you got to create a plan to reflect the necessary milestones in order for you to reach that goal. You can't just have a goal. I don't want you to just set a goal. Do not set another goal in your life without writing a strategic plan to reach it. Are y'all understanding? Is this making sense? Because you cannot work a goal, but you can work a plan. And the plan helps you to reach your goal. So for every goal you set, you must have a plan to reach it. And this is what happens at the beginning of every month. Now, so you set the goal, you reach the plan. And how are you going to set your milestones? So you write the plan and you say, this week, I'm going to have to do this in the first week. In the second week, I need to be here. And this is what I'm going to have to do to get there. In the third week, I need to do this. And I want you to write it down. Week 1, boom, this is what my plan is. Week 2, this is what my plan is. Week 3, this is what my plan is. Week 4, I'm closing it out, and this is how I should have reached my goal. Don't just set the goal without writing a plan for it. Now, as we move, the last piece, I told you 4, I'm going to give you this 5th one. Even though we may not be in massive action, the beginning of the month, you got to go all out. You got to go all out. You have to go all out, because you going all out at the beginning of the month is going to put enough people in the pipeline for you to close out at the end of the month. But if you don't go all out at the beginning, you won't be able to close out many at the end. Does this make sense? So I'm going to stop right there. I'm not finished. I could expound it on each one of them a little bit longer. I hope that this was helpful. Is there any feedback